to Superside. This is the second round of the World Superbike Superside Championship from Monza in Italy, Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. We've had a bit of rain recently, but it seems to have cleared up. I think we've got a dry race happening for the second round. It's going to be all excitement in a few.
Hi there, Rob. I think the weather's going to be dry on this occasion, but we have had problems about 1 hour before the race with rain, and obviously we've never had the machine set up for rain, and this could be the problem.
Excellent. Yeah, we're just seeing the beautiful parklands around the Monza circuit. There it is. You can see a little bit damp still. I'd say the sidecars will be having the slick tyres on though, because unless it's really wet, they won't need the wets. So just going down to the grid there, we see the Superside girls. First time we've seen them this year, and they're really beautiful, aren't they, Norman?
Fantastic. And the sidecars are not bad as well, Rob.
Yes, we've had a long break since Valencia, 6 or 7 weeks. That was when Webster came out and just dominated in that first race. Steve Webster and Paul Woodhead. And they'll be hoping to do the same thing today at Monza. Of course, the second round, only 2 weeks to Loshesleven. It seems a bit early in the year for that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's going to happen here, Rob. This is going to be a cracking race because Steve Abbott will now be coming back. He's had 6 or 7 weeks to sort out the new GSXR 1000 Suzuki engine. And yes, I feel after speaking to Abbott, he's up for it.
Yes, and qualifying, that was pretty exciting. We've had some stopped sessions due to a bit of oil on the track. In fact, this afternoon's session was cut very, very short. And just at point 2 there on the circuit was where the oil was dropped. Unfortunate incident we'll go into later on. 2001, Steinhausen and Hetherington have the lap record of 1:55.6. Claffenbach and Parzer, if they win today, it will be their 3rd win in 3 years. So Claffy will be right on it with the Team Ready Mix machine.
Oh, Claffenbach's ready. In fact, they're all ready, Rob. 6 or 7 week break is far too long a break for these people.
Webster and Woodhead on pole from Abbott and Biggs in second. Steinhausen and Hopkinson, who've been doing a bit of testing in the German Championship, in 3rd. Then we see Claffy. He's in 4th place there, won't be happy there. Martin and Tony Van Gils in 5th, the Dutch duo, pretty well. Hanks and Biggs had a blow-up, that's not good for them, but Skeen and Miller in 7th. They'll be reasonably happy with that. Roche and Harney from row 5, Fisher and Long, Morrissey and Biggs. Morrissey looking fit this weekend. Halzenberger and Simons on the end of row 5. Rolling on to row 6 there, Bill Philp and his passenger Yodi Endel, and a return to Superside for Billy Garros and Peter Berglund. Row 7, British Championship winner last year, Gatton Randall. And moving on to row 8, Petter and Parnell and Fownes and Muldoon. Muldoon was driving last year. But row 9, Peach and Tomlinson. Peach was passengering last year. We've got a lot of changes in Superside for this year.
Yeah, we're thinking very strange. There's the weather conditions. The humidity is 31 degrees, track temperature reasonably high at 33 degrees, with the air temperature about 23 degrees. I don't think that'll cause any cooling problems.
No, as long as the rain doesn't come in halfway through the race and get very heavy. If it's only a bit of drizzle, they'll stay with the slick tyres. Steve Webster, he's looking to come back in a big way this year. He's committed with the Castrol sponsorship. He's got the bike set up, the Suzuki from last year, and Paul Woodhead, the regular passenger there. He sits on the side, he enjoys what he does.
Yeah, he's looking pretty cool there, he's Woodhead, and they know what's coming. There's going to be a tough race ahead, and you've got to keep your cool as best as you can, but they look pretty cool at the moment.
Yes, and back there on the second row of the grid, you can see Steiny and Ab. Steiny next to Abbott. They're both running Suzukis this year. Abbott changing from the X-Up Yamaha last year. You've got some information about them, haven't you, Norman?
Yes, Steve Abbott is running a GSXR. I nearly said a standard GSXR then, Rob, but he's running a very hot GSXR 1000, running it with the dry sump system. The only one that is running the dry sump at the moment.
And there he is, the German champion for many, many years, Jörg Steinhausen there. Following on from his father, Rolf Steinhausen, in championship winning. Hasn't won a world championship yet. And the likeable passenger, the hard man of sidecar racing, Trevor Hopkinson there.
Yeah, and there, the world champion Steve Abbott and Jamie Biggs. Abbott's looking fairly cool at the moment as well, I've got to say. Second place on the grid, the wily Derbyshire Fox. Jamie putting his helmet on already, so Jamie must be pretty cool.
Yes, Jamie, well, can I say the best passenger in the world? One of the best passengers in the world, maybe. He's got the head right there.
Yeah, number 3, Klaus Klaffenbach. Klaus finished 3rd last year as reigning champion. He had a few engine problems last year, but Klaus now 4th on the grid, looks reasonably happy with his new ready-mix team setup.
Yes, Christian Partzer, he'll have a smile for us. He's doing well, Christian. He's had a relaxed weekend. In fact, during the rain delay, I think I caught him asleep on the steps outside his truck.
That's pretty cool, asleep just before a Sidecar Grand Prix. But yeah, Christian is a pretty cool character, and yeah, he's one of the fun guys of the paddock.
Van Gils, Martin and Tony there. They've done a lot of testing through the Dutch Championship. I think they did the German Championship as well. So I think they've ironed out their engine troubles from the GSX-R 1000. They've changed from the 1200 last year, as the rules have stated. So they hope that they've got their engine problems solved, and we'll be looking for a big race.
That's a father and son team, by the way. On many occasions I've called them twins, brothers, but it is actually a father and son configuration.
Tom Hanks and Phil Biggs, they look like they managed to get the new engine in time. Had a monumental blow-up in the last qualifying session, causing the red flag. What happened, Norman? You were there.
I was actually there on the corner. I mean, it was a spectacular sight, if I can say that. He actually threw a rod out the front of the engine exploded, there was flames and fire and oil, there were spinning bikes following. It finished, unfortunately, it finished the qualifying session, but yes, it was very, very spectacular.
Yes, unfortunately, a few of the guys had a bit of a spin onto the grass, but everyone okay from that one. So we will be right with all of the people from that session underway. This is the electric start. That is one of the new rules. All machines must be started off with the starter motor this year. New rule.
Yeah, so not only have they to start on the start line with the electric motor, but at the end of the race, as the first 3 get through scrutineering after the race, they've also going to be able to start the machine again on the electric start, which sometimes is very difficult with the engine temperature being so hot.
So the standings after round 1: Webster, Abbott, Klaffenbach, Skeen, Rocha, Philp, Morrissey and Doppler. Wow, that is a bit of a change from last year, from 4th downwards. Obviously, Jörg Steinhausen failing to finish in Valencia. Webster coming with a big win. Abbott storming through the pack. Klaffenbach having a few dramas. And Hanks crashed into Klaffenbach, so didn't get any points either.
Yeah, it's good to see the 4 to 8 position, because they're all young guns, they're all up-and-coming stars, they're all now giving the existing stars a run for the money, and this is bringing the best out of the Sidecar Grand Prix. They're away now on the warm lap. What we have to do on this warm lap is warm the tyres up, warm the engines up, warm the passengers up, and warm the drivers up.
And while they go down the straight there, I'd like to introduce our 3rd guest of the afternoon, Nick Merton. How are you, Nick?
Hi, Rob. I'm absolutely fine, mate.
And you've been here all weekend. You've been talking to a few of the guys. Who are your favourites so far, do you think?
For the race win, Rob, obviously Webber and Steve Abbott's got to be up there. But to be honest with you, I think Bill Philp could be a very, very good outside man.
Right, we've seen Bill Philp, very exciting. He used to be a solo racer, raced at the Isle of Man. Best newcomer a couple of years ago on a solo, but we've seen his sidecar many times on 2 wheels as well, so a couple of crashes.
Yeah, in fact, he crashed here last time, Rob, didn't he, last year, and he didn't actually take part in the race.
Yes, unfortunately with his passenger Ian Conn last year, they went through the first chicane after they qualified, after having many engine troubles, and went straight into the tyre barrier, and then back to the Clinicum overlay for the rest of the afternoon. But they're back here again with Yodi and Yendel in the chair, and we're looking good for a fair result for Bill. He's decided, he was telling me the other day, he's decided that he's going to try and finish the races, let alone, like, the problem he's had is trying to win everything as a beginner.
I was talking to him this afternoon, Rob, and he was actually said to me he's really, really determined to get on the podium in 2003.
Yes, well, he's had a couple of good racing positions, but yeah, we'll see how he goes later on.
You look at the outfits now, Rob, they're actually weaving about on the straight. You'd think the machine was running idiously, but actually what they're doing is warming the tyres up, trying to get as much temperature into the tyres as possible, because they get onto the start line and immediately the lights change and away they go. This is just about where Tom Hanks blew his engine in the qualifying.
Yes, you can see the cement dust on the side of the track. All 3 or 4 machines, Billy Gowros and Jock Ski, as well as Hartzenberg went straight on at that turn there at the Ascaris.
Yeah, really spectacular. Billy Gallows did a hero job. He actually missed the spinning outfit, one of the outfits, and actually went down the concrete wall.
Yes, Billy used to race Grand Prix for many, many years. A good friend of Steve Abbott's, and he's returned to the Superside this year. It'll be interesting to see where he is by mid-season.
Grand Prix winner as a passenger.
Yes, I've seen many, many years of footage of him in Grand Prix, and yeah, he certainly is a character.
What about Peach here, Rob? It's his first race here, isn't it?
Yes,
As a rider.
Andy Peach, passenger for 27 years, I believe, and this is his second race ever as a driver in the World Championship. He finished 12th at Valencia, got some championship points. He's prepared this weekend with passenger Dudley Tomlinson, and they're at the back of the pack. He's looking for good championship points, hoping for that top 10.
Yeah, I think when Peachy gets a few Grand Prix miles under his belt, he'll be quite a force to be reckoned with.
Okay, forming up the grid at the moment. Webster slows them down, rolling them down there.
Rob, the trick there, as you see Steve Webster rolling up to the track, right up to the pole position, he's rolling up very slowly and very deliberately. And the reason that he's doing that is so that the rest of the competitors at the back of the field catch him up, and he's not stood on the line with the engine running and the temperature building.
Yeah, spreading out now, taking their positions. You can see Woody there, touching his toes. Steve Webster concentrating down on the fairing. Woody just checking the surface there with his feet. Don't think that's going to matter to him in a minute when 190 horsepower goes through the back wheel of the sidecar.
Yeah, but he's just giving himself a little bit of confidence there, I think, Rob. The rest of the tail enders are now coming up onto the grid, so any minute now we're going to see the lights change.
Maslov just taking the place in the back of the grid. The red flag goes off. We'll see the red light on track soon. Passengers set themselves. And it's away. Webster doesn't get a good start. Ab's not too bad. But it's Morrissey through the pack. Morrissey with a blinder there. He's weaving his way from the 5th row. Steinhausen and Webster lead towards. Oh, a bit of an incident there. Morrissey hitting in there, tightening up for turn 1. Webster goes through. Steinhausen, Hanks next to Abbott. Then it's Jock Ski.
I think we lost Bill Philp, Rob.
Okay, we might have lost Bill Philp off the grid. We'll just see.
Tom Hanks has got a problem.
Oh, that's terrible for Tom Hanks. Did an engine earlier in the day, and the new engine gone in. Maybe it's engine, maybe it's a bit of contact there. Coming round to the second chicane, the Reggio at the back of the track. Webster in control, Steinhausen next to him. Bit of a hassle there as Klaus Klaffenbach asserts his authority over Jock Skiing. World champion over ex-wildcard runner last year.
Oh, this is the first lap. This is Monza at its best. Real push and crunch and action into the corners. It's a very, very ultra-quick circuit.
Out of Lesmo too, Webster and Steinhausen. And that's Klaffenbach, then Abbott. Jock Skeen in there in 5th place. Rocha, Fisher, Katzenberger and Morrissey in 10th place.
Yeah, then we see there the wily Derbyshire Fox, Abbott in 3rd place. Abbott will be watching the first two for a couple of laps until his tyres actually warm up. He's a wily Derbyshire Fox there, and he'll be watching the two in front of him, but he's also going to be looking from behind as well.
Yes, Abbott does have a big history of very, very bad starts. But on this occasion, he's beaten Webbo off the blocks. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, it helps that he puts the machine in gear, because at the last meeting he forgot to, after 30 years of racing, he actually forgot to put his machine in first gear and was left on the line.
Yes, he should know better after so many years of Grand Prix racing. 20 years of Grand Prix racing?
Yeah, 20 plus, but he's... Last year, first time he was in the World Championship, got a bit of pressure on him, and then see Steve Webster leading the pack over the line on the first lap.
Look at the speed of Klaffenbach down the straight. That's a Yamaha R1 engine in there, overtaking the GSX R1000 Suzuki of Steinhausen. I have got a bit of news about Klaffenbach. He's changed engines last night. Apparently he's got the postal order in, he's got the big engine in. While it's limited to 1,000 cc's, this one is better tuned than what he was running on Friday. So he's got the faster engine in, and look at the difference it's made down the straight, around the curve around there.
Yeah. But there, Steve Webster in the lead. Steve will know exactly, he'll be reading his pit board lap after lap after lap, and he'll know exactly what he's doing.
14 laps this race, so there is a lot of time. Steve Webster, we've seen him doing that the last few races, looking over his shoulder. Uncharacteristic of 2 years ago, now he seems to do it every single race.
It's unbelievable that Steve Webber has started doing this. I mean, never have I ever, over the last couple of Grand Prix, seen Steve Webster doing this, but he's about to be doing by coming in.
No, I think Claffey's going to just sit there. Remember the race last year, Schlosser, Claffey, and Webster. 3 machines dicing all through the race. And Claffey with one of the best moves I've ever seen into the parabolic.
What you say, one of the bravest maneuvers I've seen, because the speed into the parabolica with the sidecars is awesome.
Yes, here we go now. You see Woody hanging over. Christian Parts apparently scraping his helmet and his arm. You can see it there around the parabolica.
This is going to be a tremendous race, because what happens here, this is a drafting circuit. Everybody drafts everybody, and we see some fantastic manoeuvres. When he's moving out of the slipstream, yeah, he's having a look again, but still Klaus Klaffenbach very close to Steve Webster, with Jörg Steinhausen in 3rd place. And Abbott still on the case. Steve Abbott now 4th, and he's caught Steinhausen up, and yeah, Steve Webster making his move, probably putting a couple of quick laps in a second, and we'll see him lead the field, maybe. Still very close, still the first 4 sidecar. This one is closest.
Here's a replay of that move. Look at Parts are slowly moving out to the side. And there's Trevor on the back of Jörg there. Look at the concentration on his face. Moves across with a hand, doesn't look for the handhold, just feels his way through. And also back in 4th place was Van Gils, 5th place Van Gils. Van Gils doing a great job there. They've been having a top run in the Dutch Championship. And a couple of seconds, a third or so. Jörg Steinhausen's been doing that Dutch Championship as well.
Yeah, they've all been putting the miles in before this season. It's very important to them. Just looking at the top speed with a 260, 259, 248 from Steinhausen, and with Abbott on a 264, the quickest.
It's running back nearly at the end of lap 3 here. Nick, you were going to say something about Webster before. What have you found out?
Well, I was speaking to Steve before the race, Rob, and he was saying, obviously, he's on pole and he wants to win every race, but to be honest, like a veteran he is, he said it really would be great, but to finish on the podium is fine, really. At the end of the day, it's consistent points, isn't it, over the season?
Well, he hasn't won a championship for a few years now.
Rob, I've got to interrupt there. Steve Abbott's now moved into 3rd position. It's now Klaffenbach making a move on the inside of Steve Webster.
So into turn 1, Claffey and Webster. Claffey hard under brakes. We saw last year, Claffey was awesome on the brakes into the first chicane. Webster floats Woody out. And I think Klaffenbach's just testing a few braking markers at the moment.
Yes, he's having a look. I mean, as I say, the Monza circuit is very, very quick, and drafting is very important, and we'll see some, I'm sure, we'll see some excellent out-braking manoeuvres.
Yes, closing up a little bit here. Top speed's also, the top speed has been measured earlier down the track than a few years ago, so we're not seeing the higher speeds that go deep into brakes. But Webster with 260, but Abbott with 264. Is that a telling point? Is that going to make a difference later in the race, Norman?
I think what's probably happening here is that Abbott, he's actually saving his tyres on the corners and using his top speed to catch up the first and second.
Look at the front of Abbott's sidecar. There's a dent there. He's hit someone. There has been contact. Maybe after the start, but there is a broken bit of bearing. It won't cause too much of a drama. Maybe a little bit of a disturbance in the slipstream, but we've seen it before from Abbott with a dent in the front tyre last year, I believe.
It's not causing a problem, I'm sure. The track marshal has been looking at the damage to the bearing, and if there was any problems at all, he would get a black flag with his number on and they'd bring him in. But Steve Webster, at the moment, slightly farther ahead than number 3, Klaffenbach.
I wonder if Steve Webster is just not putting everything into it at the moment, just maybe holding back, maybe just a little bit, so that Abbott can catch up with Klaffenbach and hold him up.
Well, I don't think that'll be Steve Webster's ploy. I think Steve Webster wants to get away.
Well, another look over the shoulder there from Webster and Van Gils. Let's check the gap on Van Gils in 5th place, 1.1 seconds. That has to be closing up. Klaffenbach on the inside of Webster. Into turn 1, pulls back, waits. That's Claffey. He's being a bit crafty there, I believe.
He's the demon breaker, is Claffey, this season. Been very hot on the brakes all season, and yeah, I think eventually, in the next couple of laps, we're going to see a move from Klaus on this, on Steve Webster.
Yes, well, Klaus Klaffenbach. Here's the replay. Coming down the straight. Christian parts it tucked right down. Woody pops his head up, then Christian does. Deep under brakes. You can see the front of the outfit just bouncing a little bit as the brakes are applied to their 100%.
Yeah, puts a lot of weight on the front suspension.
Steve Abbott was talking to me about front suspension before. He's changed from the Windle chassis to the LCR this year and finds it not quite to his liking. He spent a couple of years tuning that Windle chassis, and so the out-of-the-box LCR is a little bit different. So what he's done this weekend is he's trying a different offset on the front wheel to make it slightly out of shape and more comfortable for him. Well, we've got moves all over the place here. Klaffenbach having a look, and Steinhausen also having a look back on Abbott. He's not going to do it though. Into the scarring curves at the back of the circuit. Jamie Biggs working hard.
Yeah, but it's reasonably humid out there and reasonably warm to be doing this sort of thing on a Saturday evening, and it's a lot of effort, really lots of effort for the passenger.
Steinhausen out of the slipstream there and takes Abbott into the Aquamilla, yes, into the Parabolica, sorry. Getting my Italian tracks confused. Parabolica, this is where the end of the race will happen. Back to our leading duo there. It's Webster just in front of Klaffenbach. Will there be another slipstreaming manoeuvre down the straight? Look how close they are. Side by side down the straight.
Yeah, Claffey having another look. I think this is where he's going to make his move, probably later on in the race.
Top speeds, though, are a bit of a problem for Klaffenbach and Partzer. Maybe they braked very, very early there. 248 as against 260 for Webster. Abbott and Steinhausen still having a battle there. Abbott got the best of that at the moment, and Van Gils in 5th. Skeen another 4 seconds back, and Russia, Halzenberg, Fisher, Rob Fisher, Isle of Man TT winner, and Billy Gowros in 10th place.
Good ride from Billy. He's had all sorts of problems this weekend, Billy, from suspension to engines to tyres. Yes, he's Billy showing in 10th place at the moment. Yeah, excellent.
Clack him up with the fastest lap. Curva Grande there. Bit of rubber coming off the back of Klaffenbach at the moment. Maybe he's trying a little bit harder. Maybe he's just getting that gap closer so he can get a slipstreaming manoeuvre into the Parabolica.
I was actually speaking to Malcolm, the Yokohama, and this is a proper tyre testing circuit for Yokohama, and we could see tyre wear coming into this factor towards the end of the race.
Yes, well actually we've got a guest from Yokohama here this weekend. So Malcolm will be getting the latest information from Yokohama. That's Fujishiro-san, and I believe we'll be catching up with him later on.
He'll be presenting the trophies to the winner.
Klaffenbach and Partzer hunting Webster down, sitting behind him very, very close. There's such control between these two sidecars. They control things so well. That's what we saw last year. The big black line from Webster through the Parabolica. Klaffenbach taking a finer line through there and being able to get the drive.
Yeah, what I've got to say there, when he's leaving black tyre mark, it looks very spectacular, but the problem is, of course, it is tyre wear, and maybe towards the end of the race we'll see Steve Webster with tyre problems. Again, having a look on the inside.
Klaffenbach, I'm sure he's just testing that out, just getting next to Steve Webster to give him a bit of distraction and pulling back so he doesn't have to lead the race and let Webster see all of his moves. I'm sure Webster knows them all after many, many years of close racing.
Stevie, boy, he knows all the moves, don't you worry about that. He'll be watching his pit board now, and he'll know exactly where everybody is on the track, and yeah, Steve will be riding this, running this race to his own pace, I'm sure.
Well, it's a fairly fast pace at the moment. We're running low 57s for the leading two, and then Steinhausen and Abbott mid 58s at the moment. So, well, we've got a problem there for Rocha and Harney. Apparently, they've had a problem with the chicane, so their time has been deleted. They'll have to do another lap. That'll really not do well for their race result.
So there's Steve Webster still being followed very, very closely, as you can see now, by Klaus Klaffenbach. I'm sure Steve Webster will know, and that maybe there's a move going to be made.
Okay, just while we've got that move happening, Ian Guy, you're down in the pits. What can you tell us about tyres?
Yokohama, and all of these guys are on exactly the same tyre combinations. The only one that's the odd man out is the Van Gils pairing, and they're running a slightly softer front tyre, but there shouldn't be any difference in tyre wear for these guys, so this scratch should go right down to the wire.
Excellent. Thank you, Ian Guy in pit lane, talking with Malcolm Hazen from Yokohama Tyres. So there we have it. Everyone except for Van Gils are running the same tyres. So, and Martin, he's not that heavy on the front anyway, so he should be right with a softer front tyre. And just coming into the commentary booth, Mick Webster, special guest again. How are you doing, Mick?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, here's your boy out in front, Klaffenbach next to him. What would be going through Steve Webster's head at the moment?
Well, just to keep Claffy behind, I suppose. But I don't think it matters if he does overtake him. He'll probably enjoy that and get his front, his lead lap back.
Yeah, so Steve Webster, oh, he's let him through. I think he let Klaffenbach through there.
No, he's got a problem there, Rob. I'm sure that Stevie Webster's got a problem there. You don't pull away from Steve Webster that easy. Yes, he has. He's got a problem.
Okay, we've got two problems. Sorry, Mick, wrong time to call you in there. Steve Webster has a problem. I'm sure we won't be doing this again. Steve Webster is out of the race. Paul Woodhead puts the hand up, and Steve Abbott, we hear, has also got a problem. So Steve Webster parks at the back of the circuit, the GSXR 1000. We'll just catch our breath here while all the action happens around us and see what's going on.
Rob, I've got to say, the reliability of Steve Webster has been absolutely tremendous the last two seasons, and it's very unusual to see the Castro and Suzuki causing problems. But yeah, he's finally, that's Steve Webster. Mr. Reliability's had a problem.
So Klaus Klaffenbach here, number 3, the Team Ready Mix entry, coming up on his teammate. That's Andy Peach and Dudley Tomlinson there on the other Team Ready Mix racing machine.
Yeah, Rob, sorry to butt in there, but this is halfway through the race, exactly, and you can see the pace that they're going at. But I think Andy Peach has also got a problem. This is a very, very testing track in Monza, and we will see unfortunately, one or two mechanical problems.
Okay, we've just heard from Ian Guy, who's been running all around pit lane. Andy Peach has had a misfire from the start of the race, so that's why he's going a little bit slow. He wants to stay out there for the points, but earlier in the day he did have injector problems, and they were actually talking with Corona Suzuki, so maybe the injectors that they got were not compatible with the tune of the engine, but Peachy's still running around there and getting great experience in this World Championship.
Yeah, well, just another sideline. Mick Webster's still stood here. I don't think Mick has anything else to do at the moment, unfortunately, now that Mr. Reliability has broken down. But it happens sometimes, and Steve Webster will be back for the next one. I'm absolutely sure of that.
Yes, well, we've seen it from Webster before, unfortunately last year with some reliability problems with the GSXR 1200, but the determination he came back with in the second half of the season was amazing. If it wasn't for the last round being cut short by one lap, then he would have had 4 wins in a row, in my opinion.
Yeah, what I've got to say there, Rob, if you've got to miss... Yeah, there, the world champion, Steve Abbott looks to be slowing down. I'm just looking at Abbott going through the chicane. Yes, he's definitely got a problem. Steve Abbott has also got a problem. And they're 22.
That's Jock Skeen, number 22. We're looking for Neil Miller there, the passenger. No, both hands go up in the air. So that's another Suzuki. Klaffenbach leads after 8 laps. Steinhausen second place. Van Gils, Abbott in 4th, but slowing. Actually, that's Abbott in 5th. Rocha has passed him by now. And we've got a replay. That's Menge there and Nicolas Bedeau. Look at that commitment from the passenger through the corner. They're a French pairing, 4 times French champions, I believe. Excellent stuff. So back to the recap there. Hautzenberger 6th, Fisher 7th, Billy Gowross up to 8th. Excellent work from Billy. Dan Morrissey, he's been training day and night since Valencia to get fit for this track, and he is in 9th place. From Laval, another French team, in 10th place. Richard Gatt, the reigning British champion, in 11th. Menge, that we saw before, French champion. From Founds, Pedder, Fleury, Marsloff, Peach and Hanks, I think, has a problem. So, you're back with us, Nick. Let's talk about Bill Philp. We saw something bad happen off the line. What were his hopes for this race?
Well, to be honest, Rob, Bill likes the fast circuits, you know, and I think he's going to be very disappointed if he's finished the race that early. It's a long way to come to Monza, like any team. But to be honest, Bill was talking to me about 20 minutes before the race, and he really said, "I'm going to finish 5th or 6th," provided the engine's reliable, of course.
There have been a few reliability problems, and it seems to be we've had Suzuki reliability problems at the moment. Here we've got Hautzenberger and Rob Fisher. That's Gerhard Hautzenberger from Austria, Ian Simmons, his passenger, from England, and Rob Fisher and Rick Long, who have been together for a lot of years. And Rob Fisher, 10 times Ironman champion. This is a little bit different for him.
Yeah, battled away for 6th and 7th position there. Good position for Rob Fisher. Only his second, basically his second full-time Grand Prix. He's been in 1 or 2 times as a wild card, but now he's fully signed up for the season.
Yes, and that team, the M&M team, is very professional. Running 2 bikes with Brian Pedder, the second bike, and Rob Fisher's doing pretty well there. Catching in, looks like Houtsy's working pretty hard. Fogged up visor there on the inside. Also, Ian Simons there. He's really happy with his ride. Tucking his head down, working very hard. Of course, he replaces Trevor Croyne from last year, the likeable Trevor, as we see a move from Rob Fisher. The amazing thing is that Ian doesn't look dissimilar to Trevor.
Oh, you would have mistaken them for twins at times. Both excellent passengers.
Absolutely. And Rob Fisher goes through into the Parabolica. Gerhard didn't like that. Oh, Rob Fisher with big black lines too. They're starting to really work for it here. Is that Steve Abbott they're passing?
Yes, it is the world champion Steve Abbott being passed. Obviously got a, as you can see by the distance over such a short bit of time, you can see that, yeah, he definitely got a problem with Steve Abbott.
Yeah, it's not good for Steve Abbott there, but Rob Fisher and Houtsey are really fighting it out there. You can see from the body language of Jamie Biggs, they're rolling around. It's not good.
Did have a fuel pump problem in qualifying, so maybe it's reared its ugly head again.
Actually, there have been a few fuel pump problems on the Suzuki engines, blockages and things like that. Andy Peach, who we see just going out of shot, had one. But I'm wondering if this is just some of the teething problems when you change to a new engine.
Could be. He's had very little track time, so it's only track time that actually shows up the problems. And yes, the fuel pump problem doesn't generally happen. They've got all these sorts of systems sorted out, but there's Rob Fisher sending it sideways. But yeah, they should have the problem sorted by now.
Yes, we just saw Peachy and had a chat about his fuel pump problem. Nick, you were talking with Peachy before. What do you have to say?
Well, Rob, he's had many good races here in the past as a passenger, but he's never finished here, always at the front though. He's really enjoying his racing now, but to be honest, he was saying to me that he just really wants to qualify and finish each race.
Yes, well, actually, Ian Guy, our pit lane reporter, had a bit of an incident with Andy Peach a couple of years ago here. They got intimate knowledge of the second chicane in a way they both like to forget. But I'm sure Ian can talk to us about that later on. Klaffenbach still with the lead, maintaining the lead, rolling off the throttle, I think. Their last time his speed through was 2:56, just down about 5 k's off his top speed.
Van Gils are not far away from a podium, Rob.
Van Gils, 3rd place at the moment. They had their first ever podium here 2 years ago, and that was a 3rd place. I remember interviewing them on the grid, and they were over the moon. So Tony was saying earlier this week that they want another podium, backing up good results at Monza.
Got a 20-second lead on Russia at the moment in 4th place, and we're 11 of 14.
Rob Fisher into 5th place now with some of those problems that we've had. That'll be really good for him and the team. They'll be really looking for a good result.
Yeah, the team are running in 5th and 13th place at the moment, so yes, that is reliability is the essence in this Grand Prix.
Well, for a new team entering a World Championship, their first year, their second race, and if both teams can finish, get good points, they'll be very, very happy. Steinhausen and Hopkinson there. Trevor has been doing a lot of racing with Jörg. They've changed the bike considerably since Valencia when we saw them last. The airbox is very different. You can see that just behind Jörg's head. New paint job again for Monza because of the airbox changes, and they've been running Dutch rounds, they've been running German rounds, and winning almost everything, I'd say.
Yeah, been putting the mileage in, testing everything before these Grand Prix. Very important to Jörg. He's one of the new young guns, if you will. And yes, he's showing his true colours now. He's got the reliability. His father helps him. His father knows all about Grand Prix racing, and yeah, a lot of experience behind him. And I think we're going to see a lot more of young Mr. Steinhausen.
Yes, the gap expanding a little bit from Klaffenbach to Steinhausen. Just over a second in 3 laps, so maybe Jörg has seen the pit board, seen where he is. They're on lap 12 or 14, so maybe he's just rolled off the throttle a little bit just to ensure that the engine is going to make him through.
Tony Van Giel now still in 3rd place with about a 24-second lead over Rocher, and I hope Tony keeps it going. This will be exciting to see Rocher on the podium.
Yeah, Rocher in 4th, sorry. Van Giel's in 3rd. Hautzenberger 6th. Billy Gauros in 7th. That's great. He had all sorts of drama at Valencia. The bike didn't carburate well. The ejection was all wrong, and they didn't qualify at Valencia. They made the trip down here from Sweden again, and looks like 7th place at the moment. It's fantastic.
Yeah, good effort from Billy. As you say, he's had lots and lots of problems. It's difficult getting track time up in Sweden, so Billy has to come down and use the track time as a Grand Prix.
Yeah, a lot of help from Steve Abbott, his old friend, on building this bike, changing over, because Billy Garros, who is a long-time runner of a 2-stroke, and this is actually probably one of his first ever races with a 4-stroke.
Yeah, Billy still has his 2 strokes, and he runs his ADM 2-stroke in the Swedish Championship to save his 4-stroke engine for Grand Prix.
Steiny getting a little bit aggressive. We'll check the gap again because he looks like he's really trying hard. We see him down the straight, just ducking his head down. What he's doing there is checking the gauges, checking the oil temperature, checking the revs, checking everything. Final lap. Gee, that's come up quick. Lots of action in this race from Monza.
Yeah, Jörg Steinhausen always aggressive. As I say, the young gun, but he will try right to the last minute, will Jörg.
Abbott is still circulating in 14th place. So Abbott knows what it's all about to win a World Championship. Last year at the Lausitzring, he pushed the machine to the line for a couple of championship points, and they proved to be the 2 points that won him the World Championship. So he'll still be circulating, trying to get that single point, maybe 2 points for 14th.
I wouldn't say that Steve Abbott spends a lot of time in the gymnasium, but he did show his true fitness when he pushed it the length of the start-finish straight at Oschersleben. And yes, as you say, Rob, 2 very important points.
Van Giels, oh, there's Martin wicking it up. Excellent to see. Martin still on it there. Klaus Klaffenbach, Christian Partzer. This is why they were world champions last year. They're always good at Monza. This will be Klaus's 3rd win in 3 years if he takes it out in half a lap's time. So he's beaten Webster, he's beaten Schlosser, he's beaten a lot of people here in the last 3 years to get where he is. Excellent from the Austrian duo.
Yeah, on the last lap 13 of 14. Claffey leading Steinhausen by 6 seconds, with Van Gils in 19 seconds behind. So it looks like the Van Gils are going to make the rostrum.
That'll be great for him. Steinhausen and Hopkinson just coming down as well. But here it is, Klaus Klaffenbach and Christian Partzer. Team Ready Mix taking the win. Christian Partzer jumps up, and here it is, the new team. We're number 1, says Christian. There it is, the win. How How happy will they be tonight? They have tried so hard. Klaus obviously sharing duties with his World Supersport team as well. He manages the team and races a World Championship sidecar, has won here at Monza. What an excellent effort. Jörg Steinhausen takes second. Martin and Tony Van Gils come over the line for another third place. They will be very happy. Their championship is looking pretty good. Third place at Monza. Wow, what a sight for these guys. 3 in a row, number 3 on the bike.
Yeah, a lot of effort got into this victory. Klaus Klaffenbach, not always been Mr. Reliability, but yes, a lot of effort from Klaus in this one. And yes, a well-deserved win. And
there we see Tom Hanks and Phil Biggs. They've obviously parked the bike off the side of the circuit, just waving to the victors as they came past. Great sportsmanship from the Houghton Fabrications crew.
Oh yeah, everybody friendly in this game. It's 24 outfits on the line, and everybody knows everybody else, and yeah, everything very sporting sport.
It's a great community, this sidecar racing. Everyone's having fun, everyone gets on. What more could you ask?
Klaus Klaffenbach will be drinking the champagne this evening, I'm sure, when Jörg Steinhausen will be reasonably happy with the second place, but the Van Gils will feel as though they've actually won the Grand Prix.
Trevor lying over the back of the machine. He doesn't really have to there, but just lying over there, maybe having a rest. That's how you do it when you win. You sit up and you wave to the crowd. Christian Partzer. New letters for this weekend, new sponsors. They've got the sponsors on the side of the machine there, but Christian Partzer will be enjoying himself tonight on the podium. We always see him smiling. He's such a happy fellow.
Oh yeah, Christian Partzer, yeah, he knows how to have a little bit of fun, this Christian, and I think we'll see him flat out tonight in more ways than one.
Yeah, just peddling the outfit back to the pits. They're very happy in their new team, paired with Andy Peach and Dudley Tomlinson. The organisation, they don't have to do a lot of that, so they can concentrate on the Supersport project. Christian just dragging a foot there. I haven't seen him get his knee down, but just having a bit of fun, sitting on the back, waving to everyone. Long way around for this wind-down lap. They get to enjoy everything.
Yeah, there's the championship standings with Klaus Klaffenbach in the lead with 41 points.
Webster and Woodhead maintain second place with their win at Valencia. Rocha, how about that for consistency? Rocha from Valencia points and here is in third place. Abbott has dropped down to fourth place, but he still managed to get 2 points for today. So Abbott's still in the hunt there with 22 points. You can hear these sidecars sound totally different off song. They sound more like what you'd get in a road bike. But when they get up on the revs, they definitely sing.
Yeah, like little jet engines, I would say. Yeah, winding down now. They'll keep the first 3 into the holding bay, but we'll see them up on the rostrum in a minute. Look, a very exciting team.
So there we see Mike Steinhausen talking with Jörg, and yeah, says good job for Trevor Hopkinson. What a result for them. They've finished, engines intact. They've had a good, solid result. That's all Steinhausen can hope after their non-finish in Valencia.
Produced a lot of non-finishers in Monza. Not unusual, I've got to say, Rob, because it's a very testing track for the... there we're looking at the moves from...
No, that's actually Webster getting a bit of a tow. Well, it's actually a push back to the pits. Rocha and Harney. Harney used to passenger with Steve Webster, although he's passenger for most people in the field. But he used to passenger with Webster, and they probably pulled over when they've seen the breakdown, and they're pushing them back to the pits so that they can help congratulate Klaus Klaffenbach and Christian Partzer.
Yeah, another sporting move in action.
Jörg with a big smile under that helmet. Oh, sorry, that's Martin Van Gils. They have the same helmets. It's very, very confusing. Martin Van Gils puts the Yokohama hat on. Tony will remember this from a few years ago. There we see the Superside girls ready to accept their champions.
We'll see the trophy presented by Fujishiro San from Yokohama.
Yes, after he's finished helping Malcolm in pit lane with some expert bit of advice there. He'll be over here actually looking at testing that new front tyre that Malcolm's been developing. The the 220 wide rather than the 210 wide front tyre. So they'll be evaluating the results of that and looking to put it into full production rather than the prototype production that we've got at the moment.
Yes, Yokohama always developing the tyre, always looking at improving. That you wouldn't believe that you could get improvements out of some of these tyres. I mean, the way they put them through the paces, you would think they were more or less perfect, but a lot of development still going in like Yokohama, probably to produce what they consider another. There, Steve Webster getting a pushback, rather an unusual move. Had me slightly confused for a bit there, Rob, but yeah, they got them all.
Yes, Woody sits backwards in the passenger platform, puts his feet on the front of the other outfit, and that's how you push one of these things home. I don't think Woody's had too much practice of that over the years. Obviously, riding with Steve Webster, normally he's doing a fair bit of winning.
Yeah, Mr. Reliability. Generally, Steve Webster, he'll turn a good engine out, but I've got to repeat myself, Monza, very testing track, very quick circuit, and yes, you do get one or two of these problems.
And there we see another one, Tom Hanks and Phil Biggs, unfortunately with a what looks to be another failure.
Tom has had a nightmare this weekend, engine after engine, and he had a phenomenal mammoth blow-up coming into the corner. I was stood there, and he threw oil all over the place, but yeah, threw another engine in.
And there we see Tony Van Gils and Martin Van Gils going up to the brand new podium here at Monza. Bit of heckling from the crowd, but we always expect that at sidecars. All the teams will be gathered down there underneath the podium. Second place, Jörg Steinhausen and Trevor Hopkinson. And the winners today, round 2 of Superside World Championship at Monza, Klaus Klaffenbach and Christian Partzer. Klaus with his usual cool wave.
We've got to see what Christian Partzer is going to do here. You can expect anything to happen when Christian's in this sort of a mood.
Yeah, big smile from Christian. Hopefully he's been practicing his English since last year, and we'll get a good comment from him about what's been happening over the last 6 or 7 weeks since Valencia.
He's a scourge for the interviewer, is Christian. Does speak reasonably good English, but always answers the interviewer with these Austrian. Thank you.
Martin and Tony making sure they get their fair share of the presentation there. Second place presented by Fuji Shiroshan from Yokohama to Jörg and Trevor. And the first place presentation. They really deserve that after all the hard work they put in. With the Supersport team that Klaus runs, dividing his time during the race weekend, during the week. And it's good to just accepting everyone's congratulations there. Their mechanic nearly falling off the podium again. He's got a habit of doing that, but accepting the trophy for the manufacturer, Gunther Denk. So with the presentations made by Miss Superside from Monza, the lucky girl about to get drenched in champagne if she doesn't look out. But the champagne sprays, these guys are going to enjoy every minute of this. Klaus with a big smile on his face to go with that new goatee beard. What do you think of that, Norman?
Yeah, I think Klaus is also going into the, apart from running a 600 Super Sport team in the World Championship and being a Sidecar Grand Prix winner, I think he's going to be a film star as well.
Yes, well, I know he does have interest in film, but anyway, Christian doesn't mind a movie either. So maybe that's what they'll do tonight. Go back to the hospitality, put on a video, and enjoy it with their corporate guests.
I don't think that is going to happen actually, Rob, but I'm sure something will happen tonight. And yeah, we're lucky that maybe we'll get invited for a small glass of champagne.
That would be good. So the top three standing on the podium there, just having a quick photo, and they'll be running back in for the interviews in a minute. The photographers lining up down there to get their the photos of their champions. It was a top race today, so all the photographers will be down there. The new podium lets them all line up next to each other. No fighting and barging like we normally see. So that was it, round 2 at Monza. What a race.
Lots of excitement, it really was. I mean, the first opening 3 or 4 laps, I mean, with Webster, Klaffenbach.
Yes, I can feel the relief from here. Do you feel relieved that it's over, Norman?
Yeah, this is the start here, Rob. You can see Steve Webster getting away.
Okay, this is... Bill Philp put his hand up. We can see it there now. But Dan Morrissey had a charge. Webster, Steinhausen side by side. Rocher got onto the grass when he hit someone down there. And a bit of a freight train in the first few laps as Steinhausen hunted down Webster. Klaffenbach came round Webster, slipstreaming, having a bit of a look for many laps, and then, well, this is one of those occasions, just pulling in behind.
Yeah, it was drafted Steve for the first 4 or 5 laps. In fact, until Steve had an engine problem, he was his constant shadow.
Yeah, so it would have been interesting to know what would have happened. But Klaffenbach, deserving winner. There is the engine problem. Steve Webster pulls out. We'll find out what happened later on. We'll tell you next time. But Steve Webster obviously very, very disappointed.
Yeah, unusual there. You usually see a flash of blue smoke or something happens. It could even be an ignition problem.
Or fuel pump. We've had a lot of those lately too. But Klaffenbach and Partzer, they were definitely on it. We see the dejected looks, but... and there's the winners. They're very, very aggressive through that chicane. Rob Fisher and Houtsey had a fair battle race long. Rob Fisher came in for a great win. His second race with the new team.
Yeah, Rob making, there you can see from the Cumbrian driver, a very brave move. There, one of the outfits getting out of shape.
Yes, Richard Gatt, the British champion, with a little bit too much throttle. But Klaus and Christian crossed the line. Christian loves to celebrate. Who's number 1? Christian Partzer likes it. So there it is. Klaus Klaffenbach and Christian Partzer, number 1. Let's go to Ian Guy with the interviews.
Third place here at Monza for the second time on the rostrum in Italy. Martin and Tony Van Gils, Dutch father and son team. Martin, how do you feel?
Yeah, great. Yesterday was my birthday, and this is a great present. Yes.
Brilliant. And last year, Tony, we saw you celebrating wildly. Happy again?
Yeah, I'm very happy. We have a lot of problem in the beginning of the season, and I think it's now okay.
Excellent. Well done, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now moving on to our second place finishers, Jörg Steinhausen and Trevor Hopkinson. Jörg, difficult race for you?
No, not really. Struggled a little in the first laps. Couldn't get past Abbott. Struggled in the first last chicane once and lost contact to the front. So Claffy was too far away. Couldn't follow him really.
But you're happy with second place?
Of course, finished second time here at Monza. So I'm quite happy here.
And well done to you, Trevor. I'm sure that was a tough race for you.
It was a good race, and it's just good to get points on the board.
Excellent, well done. And now on to our winners here at Monza. Klaus Klaffenbach, Christian Partzer, the Team Ready Mix runners. Klaus, you were confident of winning the race before the start. Did you still think that was the case before Steve Webster went out?
Yeah, for sure. That I come here to win the race. I know after the practice we made some mistake with the setup, but we go back to that what we know, and yeah, it was perfect, and it's good for us. It's good for Ready Mix. It's good for all the other sponsor, Castrol, and all the other ones. So I think we are leading in the World Championship, and we will do this till the end of the season.
Excellent. And a quick word from Christian?
Ja, ich freue mich natürlich auch ganz besonders für den Sponsor, für den neuen, dass wir da jetzt gewonnen haben und ja, gut präsentiert wird. Und ich hoffe, dass noch einige Siege folgen.
Thanks, guys, and we look forward to Oschersleben.
Thank you very much.
So there we have it. Christian thanking the sponsors and really hoping that the season will go as planned, winning again. Here we've got the race results. Klaffenbach and Partzer from Steinhausen and Hopkinson. Van Gils, Roscher and Harney, Fisher and Long in 5th place. Excellent result. Houtzenberger and Simons, they'll be very happy with 6th. Dalros and Berglund surprising in 7th. Lamale in 8th, the French wild card. Morrissey and Biggs in 9th. British champions Gatt and Randall in 10th. From the other M&M team, Petter and Parnell 11th. And Menge and Bedolt, the other French pairing, in 12th. Founds and Muldoon, Abbott and Biggs with 2 points, very good for their championship. Barry and Jane Fleury, 15th, and a championship point from Marsloff and Peach. Peach finishing the race, even though it was off song, and great for him. Championship standings, Klaffenbach 41, Webster 25, Roscher 24, Abbott up to 22. 2 valuable points today for him. So Steinhausen 20, Van Gils 16, Hausenberger 16, Morrissey 16. So a fairly tight championship from about the 3rd down. There we go with Klaus Klaffenbach and Christian Partzer. 2 weeks time, we've got Oschersleben. Round 3, we'll see you there.